welcome back to The Groomsman. I'll be your host, Jonathan. Today I'm using London by Ariana and Evans. This is a Earl Grey and black currant scent. Right off the top you get the black currant, that's more of a top note. It's a berry found in the EU or in Europe. It's a very, very tart, kind of a citrusy, lemony smelling berry. And so that kind of gives it a nice, tea and lemon kind of scent. I really like it. It's a nice scent. The original one, the black currant, was dialed down a little bit, and he changed the black currant note a little bit. This is the Kaizen base. And I think he did change the scent up. He tends to change the scent slightly when he releases them in the next base. So I haven't tried the K2E. I don't know if he's released it in Ultima yet, but I got that all lathered up here with my Semouge Boar's brush. Lathers amazingly. And I got some preshave on. Put some Badger brand preshave oil here. So I'm just gonna get right to the lather. Haven't shaved in like, I don't even know, 5 days. It's been a minute. I've been kind of lazy about it recently. So today, I'm not gonna focus so much on the shave. I mean, I'm gonna shave, obviously. But I have a conversation topic for today. The ethics of wet shaving. Not really ethics, and not really wet shaving in particular, but the capitalism side of wet shaving. We talk about it all the time, when it comes to soaps and aftershaves, price cost increases, how the economy's doing and how that's affecting, our favorite brands and our favorite makers. And that's all good. They're all valid points. There's different price increases for different reasons, or price decreases. I've talked about that on the channel often. I think the last video I did, I talked about how instead of increasing costs, Murphy McNeil will decrease costs to be more competitive within the market, which I thought was a pretty smart move, and I hope it works out for him. A little bit of water, a little bit dry. But recently I've seen these kind of, capitalism effects in the razor side of everything, which it's talked about less, right? You see, razors come out in development and everything, and then the new razor drops and everyone gets excited. Usually they're pretty, set on cost, though. You don't see a lot of price increases for a razor that's been out for a while. You're not going to be like, Rex isn't going to, they've happened. I think Rex did it once. But it doesn't happen as often, I think, as with the software side of things. I think the profit margins are different between the hardware and these expensive razors and the less expensive software. So that might play a factor in it. But recently I've seen some stuff that I consider unethical. And now, I'm pretty, capitalism in general is kind of unethical, right? Where you're profiting off of somebody else, you're profiting off of another market. There's always going to be markups, as every level goes for the resale, buying the basic ingredients all the way up to the final product. There's markups all the way up because everyone's got to be able to make their profit margin. So it's all kind of iffy on that stuff. What I found really distasteful was classic shaving recently. Some people posted on Facebook and they're like, oh, this new classic shaving razor just dropped. Real quick before I continue, I'm going to use the Yates 921H plate. Got a little H here on the bottom. I got the winning handle on there. I never bought the Yates handle. I didn't care for the design, and then I found out that because of these grooves, you can't fit just any razor in there. It's a little too narrow, but the winning razor fits just fine. Also, the RazoRock DLC, the Edwin Jagger 316 handle, and I just tried the handle off of my Shield AC razor, and that one fit as well. Anyways, back to my little conversation here. I got a new first use Schick Super Stainless, the vintage Schick blade from the 70s or so. But anyway, so classic shaving, some people posted that, hey, I got this new classic shaving razors that just dropped, and they were excited about it. And I saw the pictures they posted, and I'm like, that's weird. And so I clicked on it, and I started going through their website and looking at these razors, because I hadn't heard that they were dropping anything new. I know that they had made the Occam's single edge razor, which is an artist club razor, which is a really Very unique design. I thought it was kind of neat. They've gone through like 5 or 6 different versions of that, but they haven't had one available for a long time. So I was like, oh, maybe they're coming out with a new version of that Occam's razor, which would be kind of neat. I thought about getting one, and then I missed it, and they stopped making them. And anyway, so I look at it, and I'm like, this is baloney. This is absolute baloney. So there's 2 razors that they're selling there on their site now. They have like a listing for a bunch of them, and they're all sold out because they're all previous old razors. They were neat. And then there's now these 2 new ones, the Boaz and I can't remember the name of the other one. Whatever, made up some Occam's razor name for it. But they're not new. His website claims that he's been developing these razors since mid-2023, and like all of these buzzwords and crap about developing razors and everything, and how it's the bee's knees and it's innovative and everything else, and it's not. So their DE razor is this. It's literally this. I don't want you to kid yourself. It's this. It is a $5 Fuder knockoff made from China out of zinc alloy. That's what he's selling. He's selling it for a crazy markup. His page has it listed as $195, but on sale for right now for $40 just for you. For a $5 Merkur Fuder knockoff from China. You can buy, and it's just the only difference is it's got a brand on the top cap. It's this razor. This one. It's not different. It's not. I know some people got really upset, and I feel for them because they were like, oh, I spent a bunch of money on this, and they didn't want to hear that, and I get it, but they got ripped off. That company ripped you off, said they were developing this, talked about how the innovative adjustable design, it was crap. This is what he's selling. You can buy this exact same razor on Amazon from Vanderhagen, which has been around forever, and it's the exact same razor, but it's got a Vanderhagen logo on the top cap, and he sells for $15 on Amazon Prime. He's selling his for $40 on sale from $200. Like, crazy bad. And I feel so bad for the people that thought this was something new. It's not. Merkur Fuder made this ages ago. The patent expired, and since then they've been knocked off everywhere. Everyone sells them. It's fine. The patent expired. There's nothing wrong with selling these and making them in China or anything else because there's no patent on it anymore. And that's kind of how commercialism works, right? There's a patent, it keeps it safe so that only you can make it. Patent expires, anyone can make it. Keeps design and innovation going. But to claim that it's your design that you've been building for 6 months when it's clearly just a branded Chinese Merkur Fuder knockoff, like it's nothing special. This has been out for ages and ages and ages, longer than forever. Like it's been forever. There's nothing wrong with the razor. I don't care for it, but it's not worth $40. It's just not, and that's sad. The other razor that he had is an SE razor. I'm just probably gonna get dry me sitting here yapping. Oh man, that was smooth. The H plate, real quick. It's not as aggressive as you think. It looks a little aggressive. It definitely has some blade reveal, but the blade gap is not drastic. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it's not like there's definitely blade feel, but it's not like, oh my god, blade feel. You know me, I don't like a lot of blade feel. Anyway, I just want to say that was really smooth, this whole pass. So back to Occam's, to classic shaving, who I'm very mad at. The other one was an SE razor, an Artist Club specifically razor. And I was like, cool, a new Occam's razor. That Oren. They had like 5 different versions of the Occam's Oren razor. It had like 3 different plates that you could use to increase the aggressiveness of this AC razor. I thought it was very cool. The handle was kind of different looking, but I never had a chance to use it. I always meant to. I thought about it a bunch of times, and then I delayed too long, and then they stopped making them. You just never restocked them again. I don't know why, but that happens. But no, it wasn't that. It was a Yaki. It was I don't have a Yaki SE. Their Artist Club razor. This is the Shield, so the head design's a little bit different, and this is titanium. The Yaki is similar to this, similar to the Blackland Vector. That's kind of base design that it was made off of, which I like the vector as well. I like both of these as a matter of fact. Anyways, but the Yaki made one a while back, the Excalibur, I believe, which is a fine razor. They make it in a couple different versions, available in stainless steel. I don't know that it's available in titanium, but it's available in stainless steel, and it's also available in chrome plated Semouge. Semouge, if you're not familiar, is a zinc alloy. Very cheap, very easy to manufacture. It's usually poured into molds, and then they plate it in chrome. And it's great as long as the plating holds up, but if water gets into the zinc at all, it tends to degrade pretty easy. So it'll last for a while as long as you take care of it, and as long as the plating is good. But they're really cheap. That's why some people use Semouge for different things. Semouge, zinc alloy, super cheap. So you can buy like a stainless steel razor on Yaki Express for, I don't know, it's Yaki Express. How much does it cost? 40 bucks? So a stainless steel razor and a handle. But they make that Semouge version, same razor, same head, same design, same functionality, same, you know, everything, for like $8. Same thing with their DEs. Not all their DEs are available in Semouge. Some of them, you know, they like to make the stainless steel ones. But that one's available in Semouge for dirt cheap. If you buy just the head, it's like $8. And then you can put like any handle you want on it. If you want one of their handles, they sell tons of them. There's a whole product page full of stainless steel handles, and they're like 30 bucks a piece. It's a really good deal for a nice stainless steel handle. Some of them are really nice. Some of them are clearly modeled off other razor handles. Like there's one that looks like the Wolfman handles, things like that. Whatever, no big deal. It's just a design. It's not copyrighted, right? No ethics involved there, kind of. Great deal if you're looking for razors. So when I get back, looping this back into classic shaving, their single edge razor is a Yaki Excalibur. It is. It's 100% a Yaki Excalibur. Look at it. Look at the product page for both. Go out there and use it for some. I'm not going to put links. I don't really want to drive traffic to classic shaving. But check out classic shaving. Go to AliExpress. Check out the Yaki Artist Club razor. It's the same razor. It's not like the Shield where it's kind of the same razor, but they changed it a little bit. It's the same razor. He's buying them from Yaki. The exact same razor. You can tell, like, look at the channel, the lather channels, the back of the head, everything. It's exactly the same. But it's got a Occam's brand under the bottom of the base plate. That's it. But he's selling it for $100, and he's got, to be clear, it is a chrome-plated zinc head. It is not a stainless steel head. A chrome-plated zinc head, which I just talked about, you can get on AliExpress, just a head for like $8. And a stainless steel handle, which you can get for like 30-ish bucks. This is approximate. I might be out $5-10 bucks. He's selling it for $195. On sale for $60. You see the ethics involved here? Do you agree with me? Hit me up in the comments. Let me know. This is shady as crap, if you ask me. I know their shave has gone long. I apologize. I haven't used this razor in so long. I don't know why. But man, it's good. Seriously good. Not to mention these vintage blades, so nice. So the two ethics problems I see with this are, one, he is presenting these razors as his own creation. Specifically says on his product page that he's been developing these since mid-2023. I would also like to point out that his verbiage is exactly the same between the DE1 and the SE1. His development phase is the same. He talks about how they worked really well or worked really hard with the machining company to get the weight and the balance and the blade gap and the exposure just perfect, but then he doesn't talk about what any of those things are. He doesn't list the weight or the blade gap or the blade exposure or any technical data at all. Nothing. Number one sign, right? If you're buying a razor from someone that's purporting that they made it themselves, but they don't give you any technical data, there's no requirement. Henson doesn't give a lot of technical data. as far as like numbers. But they also have like a crap ton of videos on their design process that very clearly outlines how they build their razors. So I think they protect them with their information, you know, because they're trying to keep relevant within the sphere of, you know, selling DE razors and getting people out of cartridge razors. But they still share enough information to show that it's very clearly their design and how they made their razor and everything. This has none of that. So there's that. Purporting your own design or someone else's design as your own. That's gross. So that's issue number 1. Issue number 2, you are taking this very, very cheap razor. To be clear, I don't care about buying razors off Yaki Express. I have razors off AliExpress. I got that Shield. I've used razors from Yaki. I like their SE razor. I don't have an issue with that. I don't, you know, these things aren't copyrighted. There's a conversation to be had about copying other people's designs to an extent. We can talk about that on another time. But in general, I kind of like Yaki. There's a lot of companies that do, you know, copy other razors and stuff. Razor Rock does it. Razor Emporium does it. Their ambassador is a copy. It's inspired by a Gibbs vintage adjustable. So there's something to be said about copying a design that's been around forever. But this particular razor is classic shaving thing. So we talked about point 1. Point 2 is, so he purports that he designed this razor so it's his own design when it's clearly not his own design. The other issue is he has a fake price set. So he has this $195 price, which makes you think that it's a very expensive, very, you know, that's the price point that these razor companies that are actually designing and machining razors themselves are selling at. That's a high price tag. And you would expect that for a stainless steel razor, but that's not what you're getting. You're getting the stainless steel handle and a zinc head, which this is not. This is all stainless steel. But I was just pointing it out. Anyways, so he's doing this fake $195 price tag to make you think that it's worth that, and then doing a fake markdown for a sale because what? Initial release, except the sale's never going to go away because, God, I hope nobody spends $200 on these razors. I hope he never goes back to that. It's already like crazy overpriced as it is. You're already selling a $40 razor for $60 and you're selling a $10 razor for $40. Like seriously, $10 razor. Go buy one off Amazon for $15. You don't if you don't want to wait for the shipping from AliExpress, which it's not horribly long in the US. The last thing I ordered from there took like 2 weeks. They do a pretty good job shipping, and it comes, you know, the longest part of it's usually customs, which can take anywhere from a day to several weeks. So that's issue number 2. He has a fake price. He does this to simulate that his product is genuine and that it's worthwhile and that it has value when it doesn't. Now granted, this is all like marketing. Nothing about here is particularly unethical. It's just gross. So I don't like that he's purporting that it's his design when it's not. To give design credit where it's due. Merker made these. Come on. Merker designed this. You didn't design it, Classic Shaving. Come on. Just like he didn't design the SE. They're made in China. He's just doing a crazy high markup on these things. And I don't know why he decided to do that instead of make the original razor that he did sell there, which was an original design. I don't know. I imagine it's probably easier. It wouldn't be. I mean, there's a lot of people that make a living, make income off of selling stuff from China. Our government makes a living off selling stuff from China, right? We buy stuff from there, manufacture stuff there, labor's cheaper, parts and everything else is cheaper. A lot cheaper than it is to be made here. then you ship it back and mark it up to American prices. Right? That's American. Don't do that. It is what it is. I will never buy anything from Classic Shaving. They're right up there with Global Shave Club for me now. I think it's very distasteful that they lie and claim their own design. They've been designing these razors. I think it's very distasteful the way they made a fake price point and then put it on sale to bring people in. I think it's really distasteful that these people. I imagine maybe there's a couple shills out there that were, getting kickbacks for going out there and promote that they bought this razor and everything. But I know several people obviously clearly just got suckered in. They saw this new razor design and they wanted to be on board with this. It seems like a good deal. When you see a $200 razor on sale for $40, like that's a great deal. Or $200 on sale for $60 and you think you got a good deal, but you look at it closely, it wasn't a good deal. It got you ripped off. I mean, it's sad. I think that's the part that bothered me the most. These people that got had, they thought they were buying a quality designed razor. Like, they thought they were buying a Black Glen Vector or something like that. This really nice designed quality razor. And it's not. It's not a quality razor. It's not designed by him. It's just bad. That's unethical, I think. Now, some people will argue with me. It's not unethical. It's no more ethical or unethical than anyone else selling a razor from China. You're right to an extent. I think that the point that differs is the points that I brought up. He purported his own design. That's probably the big one, I think. He purported that he designed these razors in addition to the other things. Like buying something from China and marking it up and selling it in the US is not a new, marketing scheme that's been around forever. Purporting that it's your own design and a fake high price point then marked down to another price point thing to... Man, it's gross. I don't like it. Let me know what you guys think, though. I'd be very curious. If anyone else has any opinions or knows anything. I know Donald Younger from What the Face did a video just a day or two ago and he talked about it. Briefly, he didn't allude to anything. He said he knew the stuff. He talked to the owner, and the owner said he was going to release a video or a statement or something, a post about it. I ain't seen nothing. I know Donald Younger said it had been 2 weeks since the owner had told him he was going to do that he was going to address these issues, and so far nothing. Donald Younger said he was going to release from Classic Shaving over this. I think he saw some of his What the Face products through there, but in his video he said he's going to release. So I think that kind of tells you something. I think. I tried to tell when I first saw this on Facebook, it was a post and it was somebody that had bought it, or said they bought it and they were looking for other people and was wondering if anyone got it yet, and and a couple people chimed in like, oh, I like it, yeah, it's like a fooder, but they're like, oh, it's heavier, it feels solid, whatever. Well, I might have been a little aggressive about it, or a little snarky. I didn't mean to. Kind of comes off that way sometimes on the internet. But I was telling him, like, hey, dude, like, this is just... Yeah, I hadn't realized how gross it was when I first saw it, right? I saw the biggest razor, and I'm like, that's not your razor. That's a Chinese razor. I hadn't gone through the whole product page yet and realized that he was claiming that it was his own design. And I kind of figured that out as I went. My initial comments were, dude, it's just a cheap Chinese knockoff. Like, that's just a fooder knockoff, a standard one for $5. He's like, no, it's different. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, a fooder's a fooder. Whether it's the original one from Merker, and you can talk about how the original fooder is, a higher quality than the knockoffs. I just said the springs are a little better. Sometimes there's like a wonkiness with blade alignment on the knockoffs. But anyways, still a fooder. Still the same, it's based off the same patent, the same design. They're all the same razor. Well, that's why it was like, it's not. He's like, it's different. And I was like, it's not. It's just a fooder knockoff. They're like, these are... I was trying to like be helpful, but at that point he'd already bought it, so I feel bad about it. But I was like, yeah, these are $5 razors, and I showed him the like images of the Vanderhagen. I showed him images from AliExpress. I was like, these These are someone else's razors. And he was like, oh, Yaki aren't cheap razors. I'm like, I'm not saying Yaki's cheap razors. Like, don't mistake me that I'm bashing on Yaki right now. I'm not. I'm bashing on the fact that this razor came from Yaki and he's putting his own brand on it and then marking it up. That's what I'm saying. He didn't seem very receptive, which I get. I don't think I probably would be very receptive either if I spent a bunch of money on something that I thought was going to be really nice and then I found out it was just knockoff. Denial, right? And then you get your stages, go through your grief. Who's get angry? Probably me. They offer a refund. I don't know what they do. I didn't check their website for that. Some websites do by default, like have a refund period. If you got one and they have a refund period, just give it back. Don't tell them why. I don't think you have to tell them why for a refund. It's like, no, it's not for me. Give it back. Get your money back, man. Go to AliExpress. Spy it off there if you want one. I really like this Yates. I know I didn't talk much about it during the shave, but I forgot how nice his H plate was. I originally tried this from Baez. He had gotten one and then sent me to try a while ago. And I was like, I don't know about this H plate because I'm not big into aggressive razors. I tried it and I was like, holy crap. This razor is super efficient, like glass smooth cheeks. Got a couple little touch-ups though. That was my shave. I'm gonna do a cold water rinse. I'm gonna do a little touch-up right here. And I'll be right back for post-shave and my final rambling thoughts. Alright, I'm back. Thanks for sticking with me. Just had a couple touch-ups on my neck. I didn't go too crazy. I did like a little bit of irritation spot right here. I don't think it'll be too bad. But overall, that shave was really smooth. For the H plate, high efficiency plate. You have the M, the H, and the EH. I have the H and the EH. I would say don't be afraid of the H. It sounds aggressive in the naming convention, the high efficiency razor, the H plate, but it's not. The blade feel is not extreme or anything. I think it's very comfortable to use. It worked really well with that vintage Schick blade. Very nice. And I've used the EH. That has some blade feel, but definitely usable. No burn. I thought I might get a little burn on my neck there, but it was nice. But let me know. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this debacle with wet the face, or not wet the face, with classic shaving. I think just us in the community, we stick together on this kind of stuff. I think this stuff happens. There was the big debacle with Global Shave Club a while back, and they were doing pre-orders for like a Fat Boy recreation, whatever. And they done that. That was kind of their thing. They did like red tip recreation and a super speed recreation. Anyways, they did this big one about the Fat Boy and adjustable, and then it ended up not going well. Like they were manufacturing in Pakistan, and then there's a big flood, and there's all these stories. And basically all these people weren't getting their razor, and they weren't getting communication for months, and they weren't getting the refunds that they asked for. And then the some razors finally shipped out, and the quality control was like abysmal. They were like, the handles, like where the joints of I don't have my Fat Boy here, but they were like, the handles raw jacked up, the base plates raw jacked up, tons of damage like to the parts and stuff. It was just not, the quality control wasn't there. So people are asking for these refunds, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna get refunds. Something about some period. Basically, he used the money already. He didn't have the money. And then it became this whole thing where he would have to get a loan in order to have the money to get back refunds on this. And then he tried to do the same thing with the Toggle remake. It was a giant mess. But the word of mouth amongst us is, what kind of keeps people from being suckered in by things like this kind of deceitful stuff. And when that company, the way he didn't stand by his customers and didn't abide by their wishes for refunds, and flat out said he couldn't give anyone refunds. He was offering like store credit instead. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. I think this is similar to that. I think, I'm just trying to get the word out there because I don't want other people. Felt bad for that guy yesterday on Facebook, and I probably didn't go about it the right way when I was talking to him in the Facebook group. I might have been able to be a little maybe nicer or more approachable about it. But I'm trying to do that here. If you know anyone's looking at buying that, have them look twice. Point them at those AliExpress pages, have them see the differences and the fact that there are no differences, and these markups and the kind of bullshit that he's throwing on that line. Sorry about the French there, but I don't like it, and I think it's not a good thing for the community. Yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys here next time.